You're live in 5 seconds. Yeah, let's see if anybody's out there for lunchtime. Any lunchtimers? Probably eating their lunch. I see one person. What's up, pirate? What's going on, man? Lunchtime live. There you go. Breakfast. There you go, King of Chuck. What's for breakfast? What are we having for breakfast, Chuck?
Bacon.
Bacon. Stacy says bacon. That girl can eat some bacon. Good afternoon, fine people. Also, coffee and oatmeal. Man, King of Chuck, man, isn't oatmeal good? Is it plain oatmeal or is it flavored? What's up, Aaron? Man, I like some oatmeal, man. That stuff will stick through you, especially if you can't get lunch. There's something down there bubbling around. Salad and rice cups.
Nice.
Yeah, Aaron.
No, that ain't rice cup.
Oh, plain with some berries. Yeah, berries are good, especially if you're a grizzly bear. Man, I like plain oatmeal with some honey and some brown sugar, that kind of stuff. Stacy is all about the instant oatmeal, which the convenience is not bad, but sometimes the flavors of those things. But I do like the walnut. What is that one, Stacy? Walnut and what?
Dates.
Dates and walnuts.
And
That's raisins. Oh, what is that? Reese peanut butter cups. There you go. Now you're after Stacy's heart right there. Haircut, yeah. Outcast, this is my normal do right here. Stacy likes to grow it, but man,
we raced once.
back in the racing days, and it's hot here in Florida, man, I was a number one cut and stick it in my helmet. Oh, you freeze those Reese cups. Yep, those are good too. Stacy's here, by the way. She's on the couch. We're in our little office. Bend your head, Stacy.
No, my hair's all jacked up. Yeah.
She's been wearing up. She ain't getting in the camera. She's a little camera shy. Hey, Stacy, King of Chuck says she's been wearing a sock hat all morning. As her all laid down. Put your hat back on, baby. Look at her hair's all flattened out.
Oh my gosh. It's been cold here this morning.
Man, we've been up running since about 4:45 or so. How much did I raise for the haircut? Man, that shit is funny. How about we were up here holed up in here like a rat in the office with the heater on. I was doing some paperwork and invoicing, and my landlord came down here, and I just did a little video real quick. I fixed a piece that goes onto one of their pieces of equipment. Man, that thing, I want that job, man. I want to sit around and make those pieces for $900 a pop. The bright light should.
Tell Aaron I'm right there with her on the shaved legs donation.
The shaved legs? Oh, yeah, well, you
gotta read the comment. Remember, you gotta read. And then, Outcast said something to you.
I need a cheeseburger.
Yes.
A cheeseburger and a beer. You just don't understand. Sometimes you gotta spend your last $20 on that shit. I got $20 and I'm buying a beer, fries, and a burger.
And a bottle of tequila.
And a bottle of tequila. Oh, wait a minute.
That was a gift?
A fan gave me that bottle of tequila. That was some bullshit. That dude is a fucking drunk.
Hey, King of Chuck said you need to read his comment. It says, I saw you fixing that break.
Yes, it did hold. It's just, Chuck, that anytime that shit gets dirty, and it was powder coated. Dirt gets down in the pores. You just gotta fight it through. And I welded it both sides and flattened out the backside, because the backside goes to a piece of machine fit, so it's got it. The tolerances on the holes in that piece are pretty tight. And so yeah, Stacy, I even painted it and sent it back down there. Like, we all got jobs, right? That was a freebie from my landlord. They've been real good to me. My rent here is so cheap that a lot of times my landlord asks me for shit like that. I never invoice him. Oh, what is that, King of Chuck? How do you say that? Am I saying this right? Kratom? What is that? I mean, I like the old chia seed and flaxseed stuff. That stuff's pretty good for you. Just kind of doesn't really, you just throw that shit in your food. That's right, King of Chuck. You gotta keep those people tight.
You gotta read their comments.
I'm reading it, man. I don't. What am I supposed to read the comment out loud, or is that everybody else is reading it?
Well, I don't know.
No, I think it's kind of. I mean, sometimes herb. Oh, it's an herb you put in there.
Yes, read it out loud. King of Chuck said, yes, you're supposed to read them out loud.
Oh, you're supposed to read them out loud.
Yes.
Oh.
It's like teaching a baby how to walk.
Like. It's funny.
Come on, you're taking your first steps.
Ooh, I'm taking my first steps. Oh, it's so hot here in Florida. I don't know how you could tell. Let me tell you about our shop. Our shop is a steel building, and it's non-insulated. And man, summertime, 2:30, you better be an important job, because you can't be in here, because it is a full-on oyster bake. I promise you. Pain meds. I gotcha. Herb can be considered pain meds, especially if the CBDs are high. Did I say that aloud?
Andy.
Hey, I'm not big on pain medication. That shit'll screw up your liver. What's up, Rain and Tacos? Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Tickle. A hi back to you.
Hello, Mr.
Rain Tacos. Am I saying that right, King of Kratom? Am I saying that right? Is a cross between pain meds and coffee. Wow. Like you can get it at the grocery store? It's not illegal either. Damn right. Yes, that's right. Okay, well, I'm going to look for it. Yeah. I do have a bad back, Aaron Rossi. I have fought the fat gene my whole life. And I used, more, about Stacy and I's history. I was born in Michigan, but I grew up in Australia, so I've been a waterman my whole life. I grew up surfing and carried that through till about 2000. I mean, I've traveled and surfed a lot of places, and mountain biked aggressively, raced motocross, amateur-wise, competitively till about 2000. And I even had an AMA, a road racing certificate, which allowed me to enter amateur road racing events, and which I didn't really ever utilize that because of the cost of it. Tire money alone was brutal. But the motocross I did, most of my life. And I bought online the last couple of years. That's social. I gotcha. But man, I was driving home. I raced BMX in a day, then road bikes. So you pushed air, King of Chuck. I like pushing air. A lot of my buddies used to make fun of that shit, and I did it for a long time. But then a fat tire, I used to be so physically fit that I could keep up with most road bikes on a fat tire bike. We used to do it just to piss the roadies off, and we'd wear our damn shorts and shit, no skin tight stuff. But man, the mountain biking is fun because it's cheap cross training for the motocross. And practice. I had a big track behind my house over here on a power line. I mean, it was a full track too. And Wednesday nights was practice night. I burned 2 tanks of gas, regardless of what was going on. I didn't give a shit if it was raining. And then we mountain bike a couple times a week, and it raced on Sundays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Sometimes Saturday night, depending on where it was at. But man, a car hit me at full speed in my F-250 on Beach Boulevard, and the cop couldn't believe I wasn't dead. I saw him coming, and he plowed me in the back, and half his engine went down the street, and it lifted my truck in the air and threw me forward about 2 car lengths, and I smashed into the back of a van, and I bent the steering column over the steering wheel to the column, and my head took out the mirror, and it took all the forward curvature out of my neck, which that isn't that big a deal anymore. But my L5 is history on my left side. I thought, that was bad. That was in 2000. I thought, I'll square up on this. I'm a little hurt, and I'll be okay. And I thought, man, I'm gonna get back on the mountain bike and go do a session down at Hannah Park. I got into a south loop, which is about 5 miles, a single track. No, King of Chug. I've considered it, if it gives me any more problems, but man, surgery is, I don't know, dude, sketchy, and I could probably get the VA to pay for it. That's the thing, and King of Chuck, I went in there on a 5 mile single track loop, and I come out of there crying, physically in tears, laid down underneath the bike washing thing and pulled the rope and soaked myself down. And I cannot. And surfing was the biggest thing. And then I met Stacy, and you see her, she's 100 pounds. And that girl can eat. I'm talking about eat. And I'd put the body work back on my RC51, my track bike, and her and I started riding that thing around. And it was all about, go have chicken wings. And I'm not a glutton, but my mama was a big old girl, so there was no getting around it. And I couldn't work out the way I wanted to. But over years, it's like sometimes there's times I'll twist just the wrong way, and I can't even barely walk for 2 or 3 days. So I have to be very, very ginger with it, at times. And spent 3 years having my face put back together after a car wreck. God, 3 years? How many surgeries was that? Dude, how are you feeling now, man? 7 surgeries, man. Sorry about that, dude. You got any pain? Everything's cool? Man. Wow. Damn, King of Chuck. Spine surgery. I did a custom hood job at a guy's house that was a spine surgeon. You should have seen this dude's house, man. Not to mention his vehicles. How about a 7-car garage on the river? Well, the Intercoastal Waterway. He had marble pavers for a driveway, and they were like 6 inches thick. I'd never seen anything like that. Damn, dude. Yeah, I'm a little nervous about that. Yeah, I don't want to go to the doctor unless I absolutely have to. I think they're like witch doctors. I mean, I think you can, you go into a hospital and you can like die in the hospital from something that has nothing to do with you. My lighting is as bad as Snarls. That's funny as shit.
That is funny. Okay, I don't know.
Oh, here. You want some? You want some real bad lighting? Here, watch this. Well, how about that? Hey, everybody! How about that lighting? Let's see if I can do something about that. Watch this.
I don't know.
How about that? Is that better?
A little bit better. Okay.
Wrecking Ball. I like that. I like that. I like that name. That's good. Yeah, see, Arthur, there's the kind of shit I'm talking about. Dude, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. I hope they're paying you. I hope the government is giving you a full blown 100% check, dude. Because the money damn ain't worth the pain and the suffering. I promise you. I wonder what the trick is for this type of lighting. Maybe I need to investigate this. This is our second live stream,
Maybe
which is
we
fun.
need some LED lights.
Some LED lights. That's funny. Yeah, exactly, King of Chuck. If it gets to where I can't deal with the pain, like my doctor gives me. Well, now it's all changed because these opiate addicted people. What's up, Billy boy? Oh, get the light in front of you. Well, I can't, Billy. It's one of those big 7-foot lamps like you were talking about. Billy, make me a fucking sandwich, dude. It's lunchtime. What's wrong with you? You could have FedEx that shit to me.
Still hot.
Still hot. Freaky fast. I want some of that freaky fast sandwich. There you go. Google selfie ring. I bet I can get that shit on Amazon too. Amazon Prime. Have it shipped right to me. Yeah, exactly, Arthur. Last time I went to my doctor, he gave me a script. He usually gives me like 90 pills, oxycodones at a time, and I like bite them in quarters and shit because I don't like feeling all blown out. I just need the edge, the hot dagger turned out on my back. But he told me I got to go to a pain management person now to get my pills. I don't barely use them. I can make 90 pills last a year and a half. Buy a sandwich? No, dude. I told you to make me a sandwich. What do I got to do, dude?
And get some Smokies and a beer.
Diesel fuel's cheap, brother. I'll fucking fuel up right up here at the gate station. I'll be knocking on your door for my sandwich in 4.5 hours. 4 hours if I want to run Big Red up to 80.
Billy, tell him that he stop making promises he won't keep.
That's right. Quit making promises you can't hold up to. Yeah, no shit. Bring a jacket. Yeah, we got here this morning. Stacy was like tripping out. She's like, I forgot a jacket. And I said, well, go in the office and turn on the heater. She's like, damn, and stretch out on the couch. That's what she said. That's her day. That's what she wants to do. Wow, Creighton has similar opiate qualities. Man, King of Chuck, I'm gonna Google that shit and have it sent by Amazon. It's so nice to have an address.
Hey, you know what? I actually think there's that smoke store where I bought. Remember me and Jennifer had went in there that day, and we were talking about that stuff that somebody was asking about that up at my smoke shop.
Baby,
So
take our light, baby. Take our light
they
and
have that
unplug it and plug it up over there.
where I buy my cigarette tobacco.
All right, guys. We've called in our lighting specialist. We need Billy to call in a lighting specialist. On the set, lighting on the set. Hey, any of you guys planning on sending our friend a Christmas present down to Key Harbor Arena?
Today we have a Milwaukee battery light that we're gonna give it a try.
Oh, put it right here. Put it behind us.
Whoa!
Put it behind me. Here we go. Oh, turn down the intensity, Cakes.
No, we want to see those boogers in your nose.
Turn this one off now. See what it does.
No, I don't.
No, turn this. They say it's glaring them out, babe.
Oh. Is that better?
How's that look? No. Hey, Timmy, what's up, buddy?
Hey.
Man, all that shit. How much?
Out.
Hey, Timmy, are you actually like a tugboat captain, like a real, like Crowley type thing? Can you go one more level down on this way, or are we done?
I don't think so. Oh, and you go dock.
But you can like.
Spin
Here.
it around.
Actually have skin color now. What are you saying, Billy? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say, man?
Hey, the Milwaukee works.
Wow, awesome old Milwaukee light. Man, that thing is, I'll tell you what, that was a Christmas gift from Stacy's daddy. And that thing is like soft, tough plastic. It's pretty durable. It's got 3 settings. You can check your battery thing on. It's actually pretty cool.
Love it.
Thanks for the help there, Adam. So, skin color, everyone's. Oh, yeah, the Lily Cam video. Was it stupid, Timmy?
Commercial. My uncle did that for a long time. He was a captain.
Oh man. How about him pounding that tequila that he bought? Nobody gave him that shit. And the pounding the Yinglings, one in each hand. Man, that shit is so the content he gives me for skits. I feel like I want to get better at this. I feel like I want to be like on Saturday Night Live with that shit.
Hey, raining tacos.
Oh, itching. Raining tacos. Baby, you gotta help me keep up. That's why you gotta be on the video with me, but you're not. People want to see you. They don't want to see my ugly mug. Oh, dude, Timmy, that's cool as shit. Which Great Lake?
You gotta read their comment.
Oh.
Out loud.
I mean, is that true? Am I supposed to read the comments out loud? I always thought. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Timmy says, own a marine biz on the Great Lakes, work boat and barges, do a lot of lighthouse and environmental marine work.
Nice.
Nice, dude. Which Great Lakes, Timmy? Michigan. I was born in Detroit. How about that shit? We're brothers. When we moved back from Australia, my stepmother's parents, they're from a town in northern Ohio called Huron, right by Sandusky. Actually, when Idiot Child was in Sandusky, before we went to Australia, my dad, when that's when my first memories of my stepmother, where we lived in a single wide trailer, just my dad and I, in a little place called Lions Park in Sandusky. My dad worked for Sandusky Hospital for probably 40 years. We have a homestead out there in Berlin Heights, Ohio, about 20 miles from Sandusky.
He said all but Michigan.
Oh, all but Michigan. I gotcha. And my granddad, which is not my birth granddad, but he was a commercial fisherman for 20 years on the Great Lakes. He was an awesome dude, man. They were big bow hunters, and matter of fact, my granddad and my grandmother were national archery champions in '68, indoor and outdoor. Just seeing the look on those people's faces right there and hearing there's a jetty that comes out of the river, and on hard north wind swells, I'd roll up and pull a surfboard out of my car and wax up, run out on that jetty and jump in. People, they call it the North Coast now. There's a lot of people surfing and windsurfing and shit up there, but I did it, and I had a damn Nomad 6.2 single fin. I mean, this is back in the, you know, late, early 80s. People used to look at me like, what is that dude doing? Not quite as buoyant as saltwater, but doable. Yeah, Tim. How about that, Timmy? People think the Great Lakes like it's a freaking pond, man. You can't see across that shit, and it can get ugly, like with a quickness too. Maybe you don't want to get on smoking a cigarette. That thermal arc, Timmy. That thermal arc, is that a Miller or is that thermal arc a brand? I don't keep up with too much of that stuff. Sometimes when I go to the Weldon store, I'll pick up a Miller book and kind of read through it. Like I just don't. Um, and I've never personally owned my own spool gun. We use one a lot in the Navy. And I'd like to have one. Timmy, I thought about building my own John boat, and I just haven't gotten around to doing it. It's so many irons in the fire. There's always some shit going on. Yeah, Timmy, I'm gonna have to go back and take a closer look at some. I saw your stuff, but and I saw the work boats and stuff. I just wasn't quite sure what you were doing. Do you do any salvage? Is it all external work, or are you doing salvage diving too? Are you a salvage diver? Gonna have a bag sent to me? All right, King of Chuck. You don't got to though, but yeah. I'll connect with you through Billy if that's okay. Yeah, guys, have at it, dude. I'm not I'm an open book, guys. If any of you guys need help with anything that I can help you with, I'm down for it. Hey, wandering drawl, you control all you want, son.
Remember to catch us something good to eat.
That's right. Trolling. That was funny. When I discovered this YouTube stuff, and then actually Carl's channel was the first channel I've ever seen or done any live. I didn't know anything about it. I gotcha. Man, that's cool. Is that, man, that Great Lakes, that's dry suit. That's dry suit activity.
Billy says we need to get you and you gotta read it. You gotta read his comment. How far along are you? You're not.
I'm all the way at the bottom. I mean, is that true, guys? Stacy says I'm supposed to read every comment. Is that true? What is live streaming etiquette? Well, there you go, King of Chuck. You know what? You know what's funny with these names? You just never know if it's male or female. I find it kind of fascinating that, you know, via the interweb, you can.
Yes, please read. Duh.
Oh, there you go. Yes, please read, because some can't read, can only listen. All right, King of Chuck. There you go. If that's the etiquette, man, I'm down, because it'll polish up my reading skills. It's funny. Hey, you know what's funny about that shit? You know that idiot? You know what's funny about that dude? He seems like, tell me if I'm wrong, but he seems like an intelligent guy. That's what makes him so crafty. To where,
No, he's not intelligent.
Who said that?
Me.
Oh, you said that? Oh, that's funny coming from you. So who was, okay, King of Chuck says, Mr. Oh, now look, do I got to put it on slow-mo? His confidence is amazing. Yes, King of Chuck, his confidence is amazingly. Billy, what are you ouching? Did Bella oh, I was gonna say, did Bella just bite you in the crotch or something? Yes, Timmy. Yes, he is a psychopath. That's what I said in one of my earlier videos. He's a scary guy, man. Trust me, that video down there, I might have been laughing and talking shit, but I wasn't never gonna turn my back on that dude. There's no freaking way. Well, as Wildfooter says, he does everything half-assed. Well, guys, I mean, come on, we're all, who doesn't mind doing something half-assed if it doesn't need to be full-ass? I mean, I'm pretty flexible.
I call it presidential swoop.
Yes, and I think he does have several personalities. Remember that video I did? We don't know which one we're going to get, the good guy or the bad guy. I think listening to what some of the stuff Doug has said, I think the guy has been bullied and picked on his whole life, and therefore, he weaseled his way into some kind of where he can make money, because all that nonsense he's talking about, that real estate shit, is a blind pig can find a truffle. Okay, so I don't know. You see all these people, we're all you get to be friends, and like I've made Billy and I have made a connection and talk a lot on the phone, and that's because we know some of the same people and have some of the same experiences, which makes it fun. We laugh and talk shit because we're talking about the same stuff, and it's fun. And then eventually your friendship builds. You sit around and have beers and meals together. I mean, and it's all because of the freaking interweb. It's crazy. And all you guys, he's a full-blown narcissist. I believe that. Who thinks he knows everything, just good at making false statements, snake oil salesman. Yes, every one of those included. What is this guy going to do when he, makes a lot of the, I mean, he's got supporters, guys, people giving him money for nothing. So you just gotta, and some of those people sound like regular people, but eventually he's going to do something ridiculous And those people there at that marina are going to be like, dude, man, who are you? Snake. Yes, Ultra. Yes, very much so. He's all learned through reading. Well, that's good. Snake oil matters. Yes, it does. Yeah, that's funny as shit
Hey,
right there.
how slippery is that snake oil?
Let's hope it's real slippery. I want some. Oh man, some of the shit that guy says fucking drives me crazy.
We're all millionaires. We came up with snake oil, guys.
Theory is all. That's right. Well, just to tell you guys, because I don't know shit about real estate other than, like Billy says, buy high, sell low. That shit is so funny, Billy. I talked to my friend Angela. She's a real estate agent, and I kind of ran that by her what he says he's doing and how powerful it is. She just started laughing. She said, "Yeah, go deal with all the angry people that can't sell their houses, because every time there's something wrong, they blame the realtor." She said, I told her several times during our conversation, I said, "I'm just passing this on to you what this guy's saying. He says it works." He has already done a lot of ridiculous stuff, and they still buy into it. It's very lonely people that's raining tacos. I told Stacy the same damn thing, and that's a shame, because they can come over here and have fun with us. Like, I don't have moderators. Billy, you want to be a moderator? I don't even know how to do it. I have to get a little sticky thing on your thing and stick a wrench on your little name right there. But I don't know how I can get it to go up the screen.
You're retarded.
Oh, I wouldn't, even if I had a moderator and could block people, unless you threaten to blow up the world or something, or kill me or kill my family, I wouldn't even really say much to you. It's like I told Billy last night, we had some plumbing issues, and I got 2 of my sons back living at the house, and I'm just not making it too comfortable for them. I want them assholes to go get their own place. And so we had a plumbing issue below the washer, so I got a temp fix on it. So Stace and I stopped to do our laundry at a laundromat yesterday, and a dude rushed up to my truck, and wanting to help her, and I told him to back away from my truck. She don't need your help. And he started jumping around and acting like a crazy, and I got out of the truck, and he pulled a knife out on me, and I went straight after him. That dude ran down the sidewalk and around the back of the cars. I told him I was going to kill him with his own knife. I'll fucking take that knife from you, motherfucker, and stab you to death with it. Yes, I can post your PayPal link. That's funny. Maybe someday when I feel like we're putting up content and we got followers that enjoy what we're doing, and invitation link to discover QZ server sent.
Tell him thank you. I just received it.
Damn, wandering.
Tell him I said thank you, and I just got it.
Thanks, David. That's cool, man. I guess we all got to go over to see David and have a party and do computer lessons at David's place. Because I'm going to tell you flat out. I can get in a boat. We had our offshore boat. And that's that fishing shit is so funny. I'm going to probably say it once, and I'll say it 100 times. Stacy has caught more pelagic, bottom dwellers, and pelagic striking fish than that dude will ever see in his lifetime. When we had it wasn't a huge boat, but we had a 26 Shamrock, and we fished a lot. And I've been to a bunch of seminars. It ain't gonna happen.
Discord is where it's at.
Discord is where it's at. I have never cut and pasted anything on a computer. So that just tells you how I have refused the technology. But I can run the equipment in the boat. I mean, that's a necessity. He said, doing 50 mailings that were done off a cheap printer to $1 million homes, claiming he got 5% hits. That's not possible in marketing. Never been done. Realtor mailings are high end these days. Yes, that's what Angela was saying. She laughed and she said, well, good for him. That's what, you know,
That's
she's,
what everybody on the planet.
yeah, yeah, she goes, that's what everybody on the planet's trying. And, you know, this girl, she's having a party Friday and I'll go live and, you know, she's single. Okay. And, you know, she's looking for a good man. Her husband died. So, if you, when you guys see Angela and then compare to what your other choices would be, you're going to pick her every single time. And she works hard to make a living. And she just kind of made fun of me when I said, well, look, why don't you get some of those listings that have fallen off and all that shit? And if it's $500,000 or above, send them out a letter. She just laughed.
Billy says you're going.
You're going to learn. You're damn right, Billy. I'm going to fly to the fucking moon when I learn.
Oh, hell.
Billy, didn't you tell me that Apollo 3 shit was done on a stage somewhere? Just kidding. Billy never said that. That boy was making fun of Yingling. You guys like Yingling? I like it. It's all right. I'd rather have a Dos Equis the times I drink a beer.
With lime.
With lime. Yes. Dos Equis Coronas. I put fucking lime in my beer. Okay.
Hey, with my Corona, I put a shot of Bacardi Limon in it.
Especially if free was that easy, everybody would be rich. That's damn right. That's damn right. Especially when there's a taco connected. Oh, how old is my wife? You talking about she? Is Stacy?
37.
Hey, Mac 22, how old does she look? How old does she sound?
37.
Baby, she's 37. Never had it, but I'm sure I wouldn't complain about the beer. Yeah, King of Chuck, Yingling is just like a amber beer. It's full bodied and I don't think it has a bad aftertaste, you know. Got to go. Have a good day, gang. See ya, Timmy. Be safe in that boat and wear your life jacket. Water's getting cold up there these days. Oh, that's funny. He's going green screen from his ex-wife's garage.
That's funny.
Well, we know that's not true because I walked down on the pier and found his boat. Oh yeah, wondering. Yeah. You thought it was my daughter. Remember? Okay. Well, the rumor is Carl's still in ex-wife's garage, going to green screens, running generator, blah blah blah. Yeah. Background noise. That's funny. Remember, I thought she was your daughter at first. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I've got not so much anymore because she's starting to look a little older, but not old. It's only available in certain areas, I guess, which is King of Chuck's, which is crazy because it's, you know, Pennsylvania brewery. Yeah, Mac, that's crazy, isn't it? I'm 54. I met Stacy. I was 38 years old. She was 22, waitress at a sports bar I used to go to here around the corner. And close to the house. We used to go there quite a bit. And she come up there and was waiting on a friend of mine and we started yammering at each other. And let me tell you, she looked like she was 15 years old. Mac 22. That's how that works. And her and I just got to jawing together, and I was divorced, and, you know, one thing led to another, and it was smash time. I don't know. Our friendship, we kicked it around for 10 years, man, before I bought her a ring. And a lot of that had to do with her maturity level and me being so beat up with that divorce. You know, having kids and losing all that money. Property, you know, just the whole 9 yards was brutal, and I wasn't down, you know, to have a young girlfriend. I mean, dude, I mean, look at me. I look like fucking Shrek, you know? Although, you know, I wasn't nearly nearly heavy back then. And I guess what did it was when I rolled up on that sport bike and parked on the sidewalk, and they were all outside. And I don't know if you guys know anything about motorcycles, but it's a 1,000cc twin and had good sound of pipes on it. I think that had a little bit to do with it. And her being young, and next thing you know, hanging around, I said, "Hey, can you get off for about a week? You want to go to the Keys? You want to go to a marathon?" We loaded up one of her waitressing friends and a couple of my friends, and down to Tommy's house we went, and a couple of trips like that, and some sport riding, and you know,
Voila.
she's running around messing around with young guys, and I freaking threw down on her like a good old fashioned older guy would do, and that was it.
Hey, all right, that's enough. You need to cut your live stream now.
Damn, Mac 22 having a baby at 17, isn't that tough? That made you grow up real quick right there. Did y'all sell real estate while in Marathon? We heard you can make millions in a few weeks. No, we were down there fishing and spending money like you're supposed to when you're in the Keys. Damn, Act 22. You still married to the same girl? I had 3 kids by the time I was old enough to drink. Damn.
Woohoo! Knocking it down, knocking it down.
Damn, our hub went out. King of Chuck says our hub went down for 4 hours the other night. Had to call in outside electricians.
Oh my. Everything okay now?
Second biggest hub in California.
Wow.
Wow. What? Hey, King of Chuck, what part of California? I love Southern California. I came real close to moving there.
How's everything now? Everything all good?
Everything has stopped. Is everything cool? I was okay. It stopped. Southern Cal. Man, King of Chuck. First time I went there, that's why I shipped FedEx. I did save my ass having kids. It was a mess though, King of Chuck says. Well, that's good, Mac 22. I mean, dude, you know, kids are cool, man. I got 3 boys. I mean, I know. No divorce, man. Now, Mac 22, these days that's a rare thing, and I'm very, very happy for you. But yeah, I'll tell you, the way my life has turned out, you know, if this is the shit I had to go through to meet Stacy and have her in my life and her family, so be it. I'd do it all over again.
Mom and Dad's coming up on their 40 years coming up in April. This coming up April. My parents will be married 40.
But King of Chuck, man, Southern Cal, dude.
We love their street food.
Man, I mean, we drove all the way. I helped a buddy of mine move back, and he worked for a company called KLS Martin. They sell surgical shit, like head trauma screws and plates and tools. And we drove. Now, these guys are Army helicopter pilots. And matter of fact, Cecil, even though my buddy Sean went to Apache school, but he flew scooters. And Cecil was a full-blown Apache helicopter pilot, and my other Mike Gray, he was a ground lieutenant. And we drove straight through to California, went right to Juanita's in San Clemente, because he talked all that fish taco shit all the way there. King of Chuck, Billy hates it now, but there are a lot of reasons. There are so many people. Yeah, King of Chuck, Trust me, we pulled up to Huntington Beach. It was 10 foot corduroy to the horizon and glassy. I was so tired I couldn't even surf. I mean, my board was in the back of the truck. I couldn't even surf. We drove straight through, never shut the trucks off. And I spent about 2 or 3 weeks out there surfing and running up and down, going to Mexico. And man, I was so hot to put my equipment on a flatbed trailer and move out there. But I really sat back and looked at the traffic because I could have made a run out there. I used to do a lot of work for a company called Captive Air. Bonnie Bolt R, hey bud, how you looking? Good, thanks, Bonnie R. Thanks for coming in. But I looked at the traffic, man. The I-5 jammed. You know, I was like, eh. And the real estate. I mean, Sean rented a house about 15 blocks from Huntington Pier straight back, and it was back then. It was 12 or 1400 a month for rent, and I said nope. Yep, San Diego, Miramar, jets flying all over the place. You know, when I filled out my dream sheet in the Navy, that was my first, coming out of boot camp, that was my first slot. I wanted to go West Coast, subtender, you know, and that it didn't fly. I got Norfolk, I got East Coast subtender. Yeah, the real estate value now, you know, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, if you could have bought a bunch of property out there and been a rich guy.
Hey, you got a Mac says gotta go. Y'all have a great day.
All right, see you later, Mac. Have a great day. We're going to cut this short here in about 9 minutes to lunchtime live. I like it. What's up, Steve? Bonnie Bolt R says, I quit my $200K a year job 3 months ago. Need to figure out another job soon, but think I am addicted to YouTube. That's funny. Yeah, he was blown out. Well, I don't want to say blown out, but you can tell when when our friend gets a buzz on, he starts acting a fool, which is great.
A little bit more loose words.
At least it's funnier to watch.
You know that a drunken man's words is always a sober man's thoughts.
That's right. That's what Stacy said. A drunken man's words are a sober man's thoughts. Here in San Francisco Bay Area, home values and rents are through the roof. Man, I bet, Steve. I bet it's out of sight. You know, we got our Choi Lee down there in Palm Beach, and I was searching around on boats, and if I had the money and not our boat and the time to go, man, I found one in the San Francisco Bay Area that was worth restoring. It was a this is an odd one because I couldn't find any more like it, but it was a 48-foot Pearson Tillotson, okay, sloop. So it looked like a P-39, somewhat like a P-39 Pearson, but 48 foot. And the guy was selling it for 25 grand. And it looked in fair condition. I think it had a newer motor in it. And you want to talk about and I think a sailing school had it for a while, so the upkeep was pretty good on it. But man, 25 grand for a 50-foot made by Tillotson. So it's kind of a, you know, I just like that design, that style boat. I mean, our Choi Lee is a good boat. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but Mama wanted that Spindrift, that 43 Pilot House, so we may go back that direction at some point. I gotta weigh out the money value. Is it worth me, you know, putting 50 grand into that boat and bringing it up to snuff with all the goodies it needs to keep Mama comfortable, versus taking the money from the selling a boat, taking that money and just doubling that money and buying something that doesn't need 6 months on the hard. Bonnie says Carl has built more channels of haters than he has supporters. That, you know, and that's his own damn fault. But he'll tell you that's not true. I mean, that's his own damn fault. And if, you know, I could have been a friend, Billy could have been a friend, we all could have, you know, supported that guy if he just keep his freaking mouth shut, you know, and not be such a it's the money thing that I just don't understand. I don't know about you guys, but I never had it that way. I've never had shit handed to me. If right on through growing up, my dad wasn't overly abusive to me at all. You know, my stepmom whooped on me pretty good when I needed it, I guess, but they just, you can abuse young people other ways. Home prices are higher now than the 2008 crash. A lot of foreign buyers moving in. Nope, don't want that, Steve. Trolls actually put out tons of great content. Yes, they do. I wish some of his people would come over here if they catch it up. I'd like to hear the whole philosophy behind what the heck is going on. But I could afford to move away. Yeah, well, King of Chuck, you would, but hey, King of Chuck, what about, is that place in San Clemente called Juanita's? It's a little taco stand right on the side of the road. Man, I couldn't get enough of that place. Not to mention Jack in the Box, In-Out, Big Burger. They got a bunch of cool places there if you want to. Of course, you know, all the stuff you don't get here. Although we do have a Rip Curl store here now in Jack's Beach, connected to Surf of the Bar. But you know, going down to the Rip Curl, you know, factory there and getting stuff at the goodies down by Trestles, getting some goodies out of that store. I still have a bag I bought there from 96 maybe. One of my favorite little travel day bags. What is that, Billy? 290 End Coast Highway. What is that? Rip Curl? Carl talking about his daughter-in-law's mom. Creeper alert. Yeah. Showing her picture. That's classic. Juanita's. Oh, there it is. It's still there, Billy? I know you've been there, haven't you? You taco mania, man. Yes. You know, back in the early days, Sean, my buddy Sean, talked that fish taco shit. And I'm like, dude, I don't want no fish on a freaking taco until I had one. Yes, I have. Billy, what do you think is in that squirt bottle? I've kind of tried to duplicate it. I think it is just fresh crema and a little bit of mayonnaise and a little bit of lime. Do you think that's what's in those squeeze bottles? Come on, King of Chuck. I know you've been there. Tell me what you think that shit is in that squeeze bottle. Knuckleheads. Is that a biker bar, King of Chuck? There's a bar. I keep forgetting, guys. Sorry. Billy says, oh shit, yeah, I've been to Juanita's. There's a bar, and King of Chuck is saying there's a bar I like in San Clemente called Knuckleheads. We got one up there on the ocean, across the street from the ocean in front of Nina, called Hammerheads, a bar. They open up the doors, you can sit right there and look at the water. It's pretty cool. King of Chuck says, I'm driving, but I can figure out the white stuff. Like, what do you mean by that, King of Chuck? What kind of white stuff? Stacy runs from the white stuff. Weight loss going well. Hey, good to see you if I didn't see you in here earlier. Did you say you've been San Clemente's and stuffed trussels? No, the Rip Curl factory outlet store is right there by Trestles, which is a surf break. You got to kind of, well, because I was with Sean, we just drove on the base and drove down to the other end of the point, but you got to kind of huff it down a hill and underneath the Trestles, the train tracks to get there. Oh, you think there's some? Billy says yes, plus some habanero and cilantro in the squeeze bottle. You know, maybe so, Billy. Steve Cromwell says, I remember having my first fish taco in San Diego years ago. Nobody believed me. No such thing, they told me. Yeah, they're good as shit, aren't they? Oh, man, weight loss going well. Born and raised in San Clemente. There we go. See, that's the internet, man. How about that shit? So what do you think? Weight loss going well? I know you've been to Juanita's, then. I don't know what it is about that little taco shack that I like so much. It's almost better than street food. He asked, Billy Boy said he asked Surf, what is that, Billy? What are you talking about? Great food. What weight loss going well? What's in the squeeze bottle? The white juice you put on your taco, not stuffed. Oh, surfed. Actually, weight loss going well. We went on the base. It was about 4 foot. We didn't even take the boards. Matter of fact, we checked blacks first, and it wasn't happening down that end. So we went back up to Huntington. No, Trestles is about 4 foot and kind of crumbly. It wasn't worth the experience. No, we did not surf anywhere in San Clemente. No plate. The swell wasn't working down there, so we went back north. Yeah, we even checked blacks, and it wasn't happening. But that's kind of why we were driving around, goofing around, because the swell was suspect. I'm not going to, if I'm on the West Coast, dude, I'm not paddling out in 3 foot shit. I can do that in Jacksonville. Not sure about the bottle. Weight loss, not sure about the bottle of sauce. Well, weight loss going well. It is your job to go down there and steal a bottle of that sauce.
No, you're just
Actually,
kidding. You're just
actually,
kidding.
actually, you should go down there and have a couple of fish tacos on us and just smile while you're standing outside against that, sit at that little thing and try not to get by a car and eat your fish tacos and think about how lucky you are to have those things in your hand. I make a pretty good duplicate though. Bonnie Bold R says RC51, great bike. I got 2X VMAX 02 and two. You bought a 17 VMAX. Yeah, that VMAX is a beast, and it always has been. You
gotta read your comments out loud.
Oh, comments out loud. Yeah, Bonnie Bolt. I think if you go to my Facebook, there might be a picture on there. I mean, you got that RC51 bent over at Jennings.
No, wrong Facebook.
Which one is it on Tickle Me Fin
No.
Facebook?
No, it's on your personal.
Oh yeah, it's on my Andrew McElroy Facebook. There might be a picture on there. Live stream, yes. Yeah, weight loss. That would be great. Like I said, man, that the little video I got up on our stuff, we started putting stuff on our YouTube channel that day. The boys came over and I made those carnitas tacos. They were, Bonnie Bolt says, hi, Aaron. You miss me? That's great. Those carnitas tacos, football game at the house, man, those are pretty tasty. Everybody likes the pig. Well, everybody but Muslims, I guess. They don't eat the pig. She says, Aaron, I'm man, I wish I could figure out if you were boys or girls. So Aaron, I'm assuming you're a female. Bonnie Bolt, I'm assuming you're a female. I commiss you. I commiss you too, Bonnie. I like that. Commiss. Steve Cromwell, who has started their holiday shopping? Aaron Rossi, bad alert, you. Oh, bad, aren't you? Oh, Aaron. Okay, Aaron's a girl. Bonnie says, only for you. Billy says, I haven't yet. No Christmas shopping. But I'm gonna send our friend a little Christmas gift of some kind. Oh, Bonnie Bolt is a guy. A woman, yes. Well, yes, women, not girls. Weight loss going well says, I'm a cross dresser on weekends. Yeah, you guys are going to see a little bit of that. I got a skit in mind, but I'm not letting it out. I'm obsessed with my skits. I'm writing little skits down. I'm going to get better with my talking. That guy just gives me too many ideas for my E-Beggar series. Because, you know, my oldest son says, quit bullying that guy. I said, I'm not bullying the guy. I'm just making fun of his stupid shit he does because I got personal beef with him. A kilt. Well, if you guys look at my last name, I should be wearing a kilt too. It's McElroy. Oh, man, I'm not real good at this shit. Bonnie Bolt says, I'm a cross-dresser. I wear kilts. Aaron says, what? I can't wait for that one. Oh, yeah, it's going to be funny. Well, I mean, I think it's funny. I guess that's all that's important.
No,
Bonnie Bolt says, want to pick? That's right, Ultra. Oh, it's not Ultra. It's Eura Truffle Tone. Snarl doesn't have to be lonely with a trannyonly.com. Now that shit is funny. Aaron says a skirt. Aaron says I love all of them. Thanks, Aaron. And hey, TikTok. TikTok just laughed. You just been watching TikTok?
You need to read this comment.
He said he's laughing at LOL. Yeah, you guys all should try this live stream and shit. It's actually pretty funny.
You know what? I think you surpassed your hour or whatever.
It don't matter. SpaceX launched in 3 minutes. LR8. Have a great lunch live stream. Thanks, David. Go check out SpaceX. I'm glad they started landing those damn things. You know, they're doing that shit over here, man. I was like, how are they ever going to land that thing on a barge? Of course, as predicted, the first couple freaking crashed and burned, but they got it, dude. They landed them things. It's raining tacos. Snarl has flank. That's funny. Bonnie says, can't send explosives through the post bummer. Wow. Yura, I got that right finally. I get sidetracked by your little cartoon emoji. Floby Frank and his meat sticks. Wow. You know, 10 Star has it right, man. He goes into depth with getting those pictures and shit. I mean, why do you put pictures of children biting meatballs on? Is he just that not aware? I mean, I could be not aware of my dumbness like that, I guess. But let me tell you guys a little bit more about that. Going to school in Australia, man, back then they did not care about your education, so I struggled. I mean, my clothes requirements in Bayswater in Perth, Australia were shorts. And that was about it. I mean, they didn't really care if you had a shirt on or shoes. We'd skateboard down the halls. All I cared about is getting to the beach and goofing around. I get back to America, they dropped me 2 grades, and I still was clueless. one of the first things they handed me was a map of America. They wanted me to write down all the states and all the states' capitals. I looked at them and was like, yo, mate, how do you think I'm going to know that? I'm just over here from the down under, eh? Somebody chuck over that pen. Talking that madness. You know, I was lost.
Okay.
Ultra says, humping the Xmas deer. You know, I've always wanted to drive through a neighborhood and reposition people's shit out in their yard. Stacy says I'm too old for that. Yeah, Steve. Now that I'll give you. I had an outstanding childhood. My parents didn't have no reins on me. Oh, I used to get my ass beat for just crossing the main road over there to get some penny candy from the store, which I was stealing my dad's change out of his little silver pig. Now I got my ass kicked for that too. And I used to take an ass beating for crossing that main road, and I used to think to myself, man, I'm getting in trouble for this, but if they only knew that we were on the bus, on the train, and down in Fremantle Beach, or skateboarding around downtown Perth, or they had no idea where I was half the time. Raining tacos. It was so funny when Frank told everyone on live stream he has used a Flowbee for the past 20 years, never been to a barber. Yeah, hey, I used to have to go to the barber all the time, but once I got Stacy, and she didn't mind, she just takes a freaking razor to my head. I look at that as saving 30 bones. I don't need to be in super style. A Flowbee, Raren says a Flowbee, laugh out loud. That is some funny shit. Well, Steve, I was pretty young. We moved back when we were 13. But yeah, I had some girl experience underneath the school building. Steve Cromwell says sun, surf, skating, cars, not so much, and girls. But yes, sun, surfing, and running around. Man, we lived within, a quick hike difference. I mean, you guys could group that up. I lived by the Swan River. There's a park down there in Bayswater. I mean, we lived right by the river. We ran that river like, craziness when we were kids. TikTok says, John D is a perv too. Oh, John Dolan. John D is a perv too with his rusty wagon obsession. Yeah, I think that John Dolan guy is a pretty big financial supporter, and obviously, if he's flying down to the islands to look at a Dean catamaran, he must have some flow. Billy Boy, Stacy, go outside and see the rocket trail. You can stay inside here and see the rocket trail, Billy. I got a rocket trail for you.
In camo pants.
In camo pants. Steve Cromwell, my parents never knew where I was most of the time. Grew up like a feral cat. Came home just to eat. Yeah, but Steve, here's the problem for me. If I didn't get to the house before the street lights came on, I took an ass whooping. And man, you don't know when that light's gonna come on. I've been running in my bare feet because I don't wear shoes much over there. I'm running down the sidewalk in my bare ass feet, and I'm rounding the corner and the lights turn on, knowing I'm gonna get a whipping. Billy says Rocket Man. Yeah, he's a Rocket Man, all right. I mean, does anybody fool for that shit? I mean, everything that guy is talking about, he's on vacation. He's got it made, man. All he's got to do is belittle himself enough to cry about needing money and beg for money. People give it to him, and he's bought himself another couple of weeks. And then he keeps the pressure on, because I back watched his shit from last night. This morning on the way to work, I just put it on the truck, and while I'm driving, you can just listen. You ain't got to look at his face. You can just listen to him, and there he is talking about needing more money. Because, what do you guys think he raised with that whole hair bullshit? Roger 33, good to see you, man. Stacy, you mean camo skirt?
Yes, exactly.
There you go. She says exactly a camo skirt. Trust me, guys. We were at the Salvation Army yesterday, and
Okay.
I was clothes shopping in the ladies department.
Stop it.
Stacy says, "Stop it." Watching the SpaceX, Aaron Rossi. Awesome.
Oh wow.
Aaron, they obviously launched it from Canaveral, right? Yeah, Bonnie, you love my Aussie accent. You know, Bonnie, Stacey and I talk about that a lot. I said if we can ever cross over and get to Australia and spend a season there and, get a work permit, pick up some jobs, do whatever. Stacey is so easily, she has several different voices she likes to use. You'll catch her doing it sometimes. It's funny as shit. Like, if you watch that video where she's talking about we had the boat towed off that sandbar, she'll do it every once in a while. It is so hilarious. It's Raining Tacos production says she has done everything she was going to do. Remember going to Annapolis boat show? Oh, that was boat show Boston for lobster, Maine, etc. Yeah, well, that wasn't going to happen. The minute, he's always worried about his safety. I mean, what kind of safety are you talking about, douchebag? If I wanted, I could be in fucking marathon in 5 hours. I mean, what is it going to take? I mean, I could go down there and pay him a visit if I wanted to, but like I told you before, he's not a man. All he had to do was man up that day at Sisters Creek. Church Mouse. Guess your first time commenting? Good to see you, though, because if I don't see you, that's my fault because I'm a dumbass. Church Mouse says, when you give the poo, you lend to the Lord. Yeah, well, yes, I guess so. Guys, I got some weight on me I don't want on me, but I'm not gonna fat shame the guy, but I know why he's so big. Billy Boy says, you on the pad or the phone? I am on the pad. What's the matter, Billy? What am I doing wrong?
Probably got bad reception.
Bonnie Bolt can you believe Fat Boy got $500 for trimming his beard? Is that what you think it was? $500? That was the total fix. Steve is saying that Lily Show Mocam was awful, and the camo shorts, people laugh at him. I know they do. I've seen it, dude. Like I said, guys, TikTok is saying, okay, then I do it. He's so fat. Okay. Well, TikTok, I'm pretty fat too. Okay. But I'm a fucking man. Okay. I know I'm fat. You know what I mean? I didn't mean to get this fat. But I can still work like a man and do a man's job. And I may have to sew Billy Boy's leathers to my leathers to get them to fit. But I can still drag a knee, I promise you. It's Rain to Taco says, how much did he get last time? I don't know. He won't tell you. That's what I think is ridiculous. All those people give him the money, but he think it's like some kind of secret. He ought to be proud of it. Steve is saying $500 question marks. Why am I working? Well, Steve, where are you at right now? Where are you at in the country, or Oz? Where are you from? That's because that's what we do, Steve, because that's what we do. We got to work until we figure out a way not to work. And like a dumbass. What are you doing? Oh. Oh, that's right. San Francisco Bay Area. That's right. I forgot, Steve. You get it? Yeah, I got it, Billy. Shut the fuck up. What's the point with the fat talk functioning? Look at Carl's arms and tickle me fins. One knows work and one doesn't. Yeah, yeah, White Phillip. I've just never been. I know, I just never been much for that. People are just people. It's how you treat other people is what gets up my ass. Yes, church mouse, that's true. FaceTime. But Bonnie, I'll tell you, some of this live streaming thing is pretty fun. I enjoy. I don't mind. I don't mind doing it a couple times a week. It's pretty fun talking to you people. Really, it's just the money and the shit. I just can't deal with it. Steve, in this time of year, what's San Fran like in this time of year? Is it get overly cold? Or does it always stay kind of chilly up there? I've always wanted to visit San Francisco, and I just never made it. Man, can you guys see this thing on my nose and right here on my lip? I don't know if you can see that shit, but Linux, man, I gotta give you guys an update. Maybe we do a next live stream. We'll have Linux on it.
Yes, I told Miss Erin that there was one coming soon.
We still Billy down there. Where Billy? TikTok is saying San Fran is overrated. Oh, Linux, man, I'll tell you what. That little boy, he is he's a trickster. He is.
Oh, he was letting me love on him so much last night.
Bonnie is saying I got kicked out of Oz. Immigration asked me if I had a criminal record. I asked why. You still need one to get in there. A criminal record to get in Australia? Devil's Island? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, Church Miles, $1 million realtor, but couldn't sell his farm. Go figure. Aaron says, laugh out loud. Oh, marathon. Oh, am I still looking for a house? Billy, since we talked about that, I forgot all about it, dude. Sorry about that. I will keep reminding me about that shit and I'll freaking get on it. Steve is saying San Fran is pretty mild here. Winter is 50s to 70s. Yeah, see, that's, you know, overrated or not, man, that's great temperatures. Just like Southern Cal. Yeah, and the humidity is probably low. And the heat, like, in the middle of the country, Arizona place, it gets hot as, I mean, dude, hot. Here, what kills you is the humidity. It'd be 90, 96. It gets up to about 6 here in the summer. It starts getting hot because, the humidity is so high. Arthur is saying, I don't think he owned the farm. I think he was, oops. Arthur says, oops. Steve is saying San Francisco is overrun now. A lot of fun in the city back in the day. Yeah. I had to, Chase hadn't got his truck thing worked out, so we're having to drive him back and forth to work for this job. And man, I had to drive him down Racetrack Road and out to Mandarin. I couldn't believe how many lights they had put in and all the construction and mowing down the. Used to be the Bayard Hunt Club out there, and they have mowed down the forest and building all kinds of shit. Coming across Mandarin back over to here to our shop, the traffic, I'm like, it's just too much. Yeah, Aaron says, I hate humidity. I hate it too, Aaron. The older I get, the less I hate this shit. You know. I don't see that one yet, babe. Are you seeing stuff before me?
I don't think so.
So I got it on the wrong chat thing, baby? How do I do that? What have I done? Hold on, guys. I'm going to turn you sideways. No, it won't let me. Maybe I didn't do it right. But I've seen Rain and Tacos shit on here. Yeah, Aaron says 70. Steve is saying I wear shorts year round, no camo. Come on, Steve. Get on to the camo club. Aaron's saying 76 degrees is perfect. Yes, and then like 50s at night. Steve says no humidity. That's right, Steve. No humidity. Church Mouse wants to know where Lennox is. Lennox is in his cage at the house. Mr. Guardsman. Yes. Yeah. He's pretty evil. Steve said, "Whoops." No, Lennox is at the house in his cage, but we let him out a lot, and
leave his cage open.
we just when we get home, we open the cage and he'll jump right on your arm. He wants out of that cage.
He starts getting all kind of treats.
And then he's and Stacy's in the fridge and
peanut, vanilla wafers,
pieces of oranges and Steve is saying best place to live in California. The other Steve. SV Terra Kazawaza Maza. I can't, Steve, I have a hard time. I can't say that, dude. Why is probably San Diego, San Francisco. Years ago, used to be fun place to visit. But now all the homeless people and shit on everything. Well, yeah, that's unfortunate. I'll tell you guys, not to be a bleeding heart tree hugger, because I'm not, because I don't want to hear you. If you're tree hugging, I don't want to hear you bitch when you got to wipe your ass with a spotted owl. But all the money we got in this country, there should be places for our homeless to be so we can take care of them just a little bit to help them get back on their feet. He is a cute rodent. Yeah, but he jumps around. He fish hooks you. He got me there in my nose and my lip and my ear. I was bleeding like a stuck pig, and I think he thinks the shit's funny because he flies by you and hooks you with one nail like it's funny. He thinks it's a game. Saw that, Arthur. Steve Cromwell is saying the coast here is beautiful. Check out Point Reeves Lighthouse something. Yeah, I've seen that. TikTok. Agree, Steve. Newport Beach is okay too. Is saying been to Point Reeves. Laugh out loud. Stayed in the mountain for 2 weeks. Yes. Aaron says N. Steve Cromwell. They brought back the elk. Yeah, I did see something about that too, guys.
Have
but hey,
ever ate elk?
Elk is delicious also. So let's hope it's neighborhood elk that we can process and put it on the Barbie.
Elk is really good, and I don't like rare meat.
Yeah, Stacy doesn't like rare meat. We were out in Jackson, Wyoming, and I got an elk steak for dinner, and she dove into that thing.
He didn't get it back.
Yeah, and I didn't get it back. That's, another little tip, guys. That's what Stacy and I do when we go out to dinner. When our plates come to the table, I don't touch it. I got my hands under the table, and she surveys our food. And if she decides that she wants mine, she gets it. Rick Stevens says, damn, I need to move south, getting below 0 degrees here at night. Yeah, Rick, I don't know where you're at, but the only thing I can see of value of that is if I had a shit ton of money and some snowmobiles and did a lot of ice fishing. That might be fun. And maybe back to some trapping, because, when I trapped when I was a kid in northern Ohio, I made some good money doing it. Aaron Rossi says, hate deer but love elk. Aaron, if the deer is processed correctly, it's just like fish.
Right.
And cooked correctly, it's damn good. Guys, I'm going to hang in there with you. I don't have a charger. My shit signaled to me that I'm getting low. So if I just disappear, I'm saying goodbye right now in case it fades out.
Why don't you just go ahead and let everybody go?
Rick Stevens says exactly, Finn, especially our homeless vets. You know,
Yes.
Rick, I'm not all about handing out too much. But if we can launch $1 million bombs at goat farmers, we can help our homeless people and give them an opportunity to work their way back into society if they choose to. Some people just choose to be homeless, man. If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. There should be an area for them to be that way. Steve Cromwell said, too many tree hugging here. Hunting in Marin County would get you. get you what? Yeah, I was just making a joke, Steve. We're not going to kill the elk in San Francisco. Aaron says weirdos in Marin County. Bonnie is saying, lived in Louisiana for 10 years, humidity ridiculous, now living in the east coast of Canada. Give me the humidity over this bullshit day. Oh, buck shit day, any day. Well, so Bonnie, you're not digging the cold? Maui Lay is saying, yes, sir, I fully understand for people who have give their hardships and veterans. San Francisco is full of oh man, here we go. Steve Cromwell saying, haha, that's where George Lucas hangs his hat. Oh, Maui said drug addicts. Yeah, and it's a shame. Maui Lay, it's a shame that I'm not an addicted person like that. My addiction has always been fishing equipment, internal combustion engines, sticky tires, and if any of you guys have ever slung your leg over a dirt bike, when you go to a track that's been freshly groomed and you smell that earth and that clay has been turned up and the smell of race gas, that's an addiction. Okay, that'll make you spend money. Aaron is saying, laugh out loud, you're funny. Who's funny? We're all funny. Let's all be funny. Bonnie's saying,
I think about he funny or ha 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 funny.
Bonnie is saying, I think what you did with Lennox is great. Thanks, Bonnie. Yeah, he's a little man though. That dude last night, like he's dragging it 100. That's right. Oh, you tickle. Thanks, Aaron. Laugh out loud. Yeah. See that, Billy? Only 100, Billy? Man, Robin Road's a small track, dude, and I come blowing through turn 9 at about 128. Full over. So, and turn 1,
Oh, way back when?
I'll do it today. I'll do it right now. Maybe with Billy pushing. Have to have Bushy.
You trying to catch his drift stream?
Dream on, hooker, dream on. Billy, it ain't no dream, son. It's just, man, you got to get around the corner, man, so you got to lean over. All these street kooks, they don't understand how far the bike will actually lay over.
Oh, Lordy.
Let's put those leathers on and go. Man, I sold them, Billy. I actually sold my leathers. There was actually somebody that came to my house and bought those custom-made giant-ass Vansons from me.
You had to take them in just a little bit in the inseam?
Yeah, he was kind of a short, chunky guy, so he was going to send them back to Vanson and have the legs cut off about a foot or so. But he bought them. My Moo Cow leathers. I couldn't believe it. Vanson, that was back a while ago. Billy, you know what Vanson charged me for those leathers? $1,700 and change. Steve Cromwell says they wear chaps here and ride Viragos. That's funny, Steve.
I'm in. I want to ride.
Chris Jones is saying Carl was a pro motocross racer. Yeah, in Bahrain with a 120 mile an hour loose front wheel. And guys, in the motocross world, Billy will tell you, I'm from the two-stroke era. I did buy my kids four-strokes, but I raced Honda CR500s, and I sent the motors out to get motor work done to them, so they had the hit of the 250 with the power of the 500. I could leave the gate in any condition in third gear, tapped out. My bike, that CR500, would not do 20 miles an hour on any day. I don't know, Billy, what would I have to gear that 500 at? I was running 1351s. I think stock it was 1353. What would you have to do to that CR500 to get it to 120 miles an hour? Now this is a real bike too. Aaron says I love dirt bike. Aaron, hell yeah, we love dirt bikes.
You gotta read Bonnie Bolt.
Bonnie Bolt says Bonnie Bolt had bear steak. No.
Things at the house like collard greens.
Yeah, okay, Bonnie Bolt. What is it? Now you're talking about black bear. What does it taste like, Bonnie Bolt? I just wouldn't think they would taste good at all. I wouldn't kill if I lived in that. Well, I would not kill the black bear unless I could find a family to meet. Then I'd make a rug out of him. But I'm not killing an animal unless I know. 9mm James, good to see you. I had a YZ 125, would do 70. But but the 125 9mm is a fast bike. Yeah, I'll tell you. I've ridden a couple of 125s, and I'll tell you guys, I'm 6'3" and change. I probably shrunk a little bit. The fastest I ever was on a dirt bike, I was in my 30s, and I could have went to the A class and got my ass kicked at the Nationals at Loretta Lynn's, but I was a B rider, a vet 25 plus 30 B rider, and I weighed the lightest I've ever been at the fastest I've ever been. Competitively, I weighed 262 pounds. So riding a 125 was very hard on that motocross bike, but super fun to ride though, because you never let off the gas. I'm talking about. I mean, I never let off the gas on a fight, so it really didn't matter. But so it was always so classic to go to a big place like Gatorback. But Steve Crummell said you should get, man, there's all kinds of shit going on here. Chris Jones says, Carl karate chopped Chuck Norris and he started crying one time. That's funny. Nobody's tougher than Chuck. Aaron Rossi, gross bear rug maybe. Yeah, see, Aaron, I've done a lot of hunting, here and there, on and off. Just couldn't get into the spirit of bow hunting down here in Florida. It's too damn hot. But yeah, Aaron, my granddad taught me if you kill it, you eat it. So I'm not killing the bear unless I'm going to eat it. Like duck hunting. I love duck hunting. And I haven't really done much of it here because we had places to give the ducks away. I'm not going to kill something.
Long ass lunch. Instead of 1 hour of lunch, it's a
Billy Boy says 1 tooth in front is equal to 3 in the rear. So I would say, yeah, but I don't think the Honda had 15 in the front, Billy. It's been so long I can't remember. I bet I could go out in my old toolbox and pull a countershaft sprocket right out of the box.
Go on, read Aaron.
Aaron Rossi says, bears, assless chaps, and dirt bikes. What a lunch. You damn right.
Love it.
Hey, I don't know if any of you guys have ever done any motorcycle riding or motocross racing, or you love motorcycles or any of that stuff. But Billy will affirm with me, the dirt bike shit is fun. some of my friends used to make fun of me and say asphalt's for racing, dirt bikes for planting potatoes, dirt is for planting potatoes. But when I started doing some asphalt riding, it is fun. Everybody's going in the same direction. They got safety corner, got ambulances there. Steve says, I watched your welding video. It was refreshing to see